Come on now. Did I really just watch Superman or Looserman cause what the actual freak was going on in this movie? Now I'm the kind of gal to watch movies without seeing the trailers, reading up the synopsis, or getting any detail that could spoil a movie for me. But boy, did I wish I actually saw disclaimers about how, different this movie would be. Don't want to take up too much of y'all time, so I'll try to explain what I think was wrong with the movie and then talk about any good points if there are any. Spoiler alert, there aren't. First of, why did they cast an actual lookalike of the former Superman? At first glance, I was like, doesn't this bro look a lot like Henry freaking Cavill? I had to check Google to be sure that this Superman was not a far distant younger cousin of the Cavills. I mean, same height, same abs, same ass, same dimple. Come on now. Getting a doppelganger to be an opposite is just criminal. Anyways, as I watched the movie further, then I soon realized, you silly goose. He looks nothing like the former Superman. It was my brain trying to find similarities between the old and the new. Either that. Or it was a deliberate move so that the shock value of a totally different aesthetic doesn't throw people off. Basically, the scales dropped from my eyes soon enough, and I realized that they are absolutely nothing alike. Next, how can Superman be such a geek? And not geek in a good way. I mean the problematic one that doesn't know much and doesn't care to be better. I also noticed that the aura that the strongest metahuman should naturally have was drastically absent. It didn't come as a surprise to me that at the beginning of the movie he was beat to an inch of his life, dragged by a frickin' superdog to his Antarctica version of a bat cave, and had to be attended to by robots. Robots that would also absolutely get beat later on in the movie. Superman freaking had his lair invaded like it was a walk in the park, and the robots were as useful as kryptonite to him. I refuse to believe he created bots that could do all but spew dry jokes, but in this movie he literally had zero friends. So who made the useless robots? Superman? Like, Superman made those bots that couldn't defend his station when Lex Luthor attacked? Truthfully, I can't even call it an attack, 'cause it was too easy. Lex Luthor, on the other hand, was aura farming, like his life depended on it. And I don't blame him. But he lacked the pizzazz that a poised villain like Lex should have had. Maybe the actor that was cast for the role was the problem. Maybe the role itself was written terribly. Maybe I'm being too judgmental, but bruh, I did not like Lex either. Lex to me seemed like some of these real-life billionaires that like to act smarter than they really are. Those gameplay were so corny I felt myself dissolve with shame as I watched what they reduced this franchise to. Anyways, I want to end this long video with all the specific aspects that made this whole watching experience traumatic for me. First up, the Justice Gang, some poor imitation of Justice League. I know they couldn't dare call it a league, as it was full of unfunny jokers, with their corny uniform and terrible lines. If this was meant to be a parody, at least inform us beforehand. Next up, how did they translate Kryptonian? Are we being for real? It's a language from a destroyed planet light years away from the galaxy. When they did translate the message, I was just appalled, bruh. So the parents are sending off their baby into the unknown, as their planet is about to be destroyed, not knowing where he'd land. But then they tell him to subdue whatever planet he lands in? Please be for real. They were not sending a party to scour the Earth and find a weak planet. They were about to lose their life and their boy, so that made no sense to me. I haven't read the comics, so I'm not sure if the comics supports this claim. Furthermore, seeing Superman take a beating throughout the whole movie set me off. Lex predicting combat moves just made me think the writer loved to play video games and wanted to practicalize it on a movie set. I hear using CGI is mad expensive, so that was an astronomical waste of CGI. Hearing Lex say brains beat brawn set me off again, 'cause I didn't know Superman was stupid till I watched this movie. Metahuman means above human. Hence, if a metahuman is stronger than a human, he is by default smarter and more critical than the average human. So all those scenes where Superman was taking a beating wasn't supposed to happen unless Superman is dumb and only excels in strength. Also, can't forget this scene where Bro is like, the anti-proton will rip us in seconds if we fall into it, and then a few minutes later everybody else is surfing and fighting in the anti-proton river. Next up, the matter of cloning Superman. Who wrote this script? Now this is the part that got me biting my full fist, bruh. The chemistry, or lack thereof, between Lois and Clark was atrocious. They weren't even in love from what we saw, they were seeing each other. What does that even mean? Superman was just everything wrong with franchise movies of these days. Poorly written, terrible casting, expensive, and very forgettable. This Superman couldn't save anyone, he couldn't even save himself, as he spent more time being weak and apparently dumb letting a human die on his watch. No. It will forever remain a mystery as to how I was able to get through the whole 2 hour 9 minutes and 22 seconds of torture. Thanks for watching.